He was a man of mind, a genius, a leader. He was Chris Martin, and above all, he became what no one else wanted to become. He wanted to meet anger. He wanted to feel the world under his feet. But his hands gripped a gun, and then the world burned into ashes in the fire of history. You might feel this is just a story from the past, but it is something that shaped the very world we live in today. The fear that still surrounds us, from the atomic bomb to deadly bombings, many of these destructive designs were made in his era. Who was Hitler? And why is the world today still overshadowed by his horrors? If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. We bring you the story of one of the most controversial figures in history. It was September 1918. The First World War was ending. About 188 kilometers from Paris, in a small town called Marcoing, a young German soldier was caught in the sights of a British soldier's gun. He could have been killed instantly. But something unexpected happened. Instead of pulling the trigger, British soldier Henry Tanday lowered his rifle and signaled the German soldier to go free. That German soldier was Adolf Hitler, the same Hitler whose actions in the Second World War would later cause the deaths of nearly 50 million people. Hitler himself once admitted that he was spared in the First World War after seeing Henry Tanday's photo in a newspaper. This was the same Hitler, with his peculiar mustache, who during the First World War fought in Belgium and France as a courier. Once, during a poisonous gas attack, he had to cut his mustache short because the gas mask wouldn't fit his face properly. And this became his permanent look, the face by which he is remembered even today. Hitler's eyes were once blinded in a mustard gas attack, but after treatment, his sight returned. And when it did, those eyes burned with hatred, seeking revenge against Germany's enemies. Hitler was born in Austria, but after moving to Germany, he considered himself a true German. As a child, he wanted to be an artist, but abandoned that dream. Instead, he vowed to take revenge for Germany's defeat in war, no matter if it meant fighting the entire world. His political journey began when he joined a small nationalist party known as the German Workers' Party. Later, it became infamous as the Nazi Party. This party was formed by ex-soldiers who resented the humiliation of Germany after the First World War, its territories taken away, and the country forced to pay enormous reparations equivalent to 96,000 tons of gold. For a while, Hitler was just a minor member. But in 1921, after seeing the party's growing influence, he took its leadership. He even designed the Nazi Party's symbol himself, the swastika. Originally, in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, the swastika symbolized spirituality and good fortune, but Hitler turned it into the symbol of destruction and terror. The Nazi Party was weak in the beginning, but its fortunes rose when German war hero General Erich Ludendorff supported it. With his influence, Hitler became more confident. In 1921, he formed the SA, also known as the Brown Shirts. These stormtroopers intimidated political opponents and created violence on the streets. Inspired by Mussolini's success in Italy, Hitler also planned a coup in Munich in 1923. This became known as the Beer Hall Putsch. Armed with a pistol, Hitler stormed a beer hall, declared a revolution, and the next day marched with thousands of his supporters. But the coup failed. Police opened fire, 14 Nazis were killed, and Hitler was arrested. In prison, he wrote his famous book, Mein Kampf, My Struggle, where he outlined his ideology, the superiority of the Aryan race, the hatred of Jews, and his vision that Germany must rule the world. After prison, Hitler realized he could not seize power by force, so he decided to gain power legally through elections and propaganda. For this, he needed skilled people. He found Joseph Goebbels, who became his propaganda minister, spreading Nazi ideology across Germany. He also secured massive financial support from industrialists and businessmen who feared communism. Even Henry Ford, the American car manufacturer, gave him funds. Hitler cultivated a public image of being simple, avoiding alcohol and cigarettes, claiming to be a vegetarian. Behind the scenes, however, he was different. In the 1928 elections, the Nazis won only 2.6% of the vote. But in 1929, the Great Depression struck. The U.S. stock market crash brought chaos worldwide, and Germany was hit hardest. Millions lost their jobs, industries collapsed, and poverty spread everywhere. Hitler exploited this misery, presenting himself as Germany's savior. His popularity soared. By the early 1930s, the Nazis became the largest party in Germany's parliament, but President Paul von Hindenburg still refused to make Hitler chancellor, seeing him as dangerous. Finally, after political pressure and backroom deals, on January 30th, 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Just 4 weeks later, Germany's parliament building, the Reichstag, was set on fire. This event gave Hitler the excuse to crush political opponents, suspend civil liberties, and strengthen his grip on power. The man who was once a failed artist and rejected soldier had now become the leader of Germany. And soon, the world would see the catastrophic consequences of his rule. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe the channel Who Is That?